If you have group life insurance, you don't want to miss this. Hey, it's Eric with Jazz Wealth Managers, where we don't just invest the dough, we like to educate you on your dough. Let's go over to the handy-dandy board and go ahead and jump right into this. So as far as life insurance goes, you have tons of different options. You've got term, you have UL, universal life, a lot of that now, they talk about all these different strategies. You have whole life, but the big one people often forget about is group. So if you're working for an employer, you have those different options there with the group term insurance that is there, but it oftentimes will eventually go away when you leave the job. So term, same thing, let's just say you can get a 20-year universal life. The way that one's going to work is oftentimes you're going to overpay in the early years or it's just going to get more expensive and go up as time goes on. Whole life stays consistent. But oftentimes, the way whole life's going to work, you're going to pay an excessive amount in cash for the insurance in the early years of the plan, so the break even on it takes forever. Now, life insurance people, anybody watching this is going to comment all these different things, but I can show you, I've made a lot of videos breaking down a bit with all of these and why I definitely don't use them as an investment. But this is the one that people often forget about. And when it comes to group insurance, there's a lot of things that come into play here. But what you have to look at is oftentimes you can have an increase beyond your salary. Some companies will even give you, let's just say you make $100,000 a year, and they're going to give you that same amount they're going to match in insurance. But then maybe you can get even more insurance. I've seen companies that offer up to 5 times your salary, but the thing is you can't do it just at once. You have to do it through the years. So each year you incrementally can go up. Now, it will all depend on your actual policy as to what comes into play there. But the big thing about this is a lot of times insurance companies talk about insurability. So with a term insurance policy, they say, well, hey, if you buy a term insurance now, long term, you could convert that into a whole life policy so that you're always insured. You always have insurability. I'm not saying that I'm a fan of whole life. If you watch my videos, you know that. But the big risk here, though, is if you have kids, you have anything going on, what if you do have health issues and the family can't be taken care of? Well, group insurance, not always, but oftentimes has a hack that people don't know about. And that is, first of all, you can get the insurance without having to take any kind of exam like you would for personal term insurance or whole life. I had a client who had cancer and was still able to go and get a group term life insurance policy through their employer. Now, here's the biggest hack that people don't realize, and this doesn't always work, but it's one to contact your HR department, ask them about, because if so, this could be a huge benefit for you. Sometimes with the group term life insurance policies, even if you leave the job, maybe you get sick and you can't continue to work, or maybe you've separated from employment, been laid off, been fired, whatever the case is, or you just retire, oftentimes you can keep paying the group coverage that your employer was paying for you. You can then pay that and whatever else the excess was up until a certain age to keep you having this policy covered. So that's a huge hack. In this client's instance, it was unfortunate. They had cancer. They ended up passing away, but they were able to keep this coverage and it allowed their family to be taken care of. Think about this. This is a big one that I always stress with people. Make sure you have some sort of term insurance until you've built the wealth. And group's not a bad one to look at. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch more FinTips videos, click here. Be sure to like and subscribe also.